Today marks the beginning of the 154th Open Golf Championship, which will be played at Royal Birkdale near Southport. Over the next 4 days between now and Sunday, golfers from across the world will compete and seek to win that famous Clary Jug and to be crowned Open Golf Champion 2026. Many golf courses throughout the United Kingdom have staged the Open: Royal St George's, Royal Troon and Turnberry. But perhaps the most famous of them all is the Old Course at St Andrews. And in a book I was reading recently entitled A Home on the 18th by George Pepper, he writes these words, peppered with humour. He says this: "No matter who you are, to stand for the first time on the first tee of the Old Course at St Andrews is to experience the greatest natural laxative in golf. So intimidating is this opening shot that Dwight Eisenhower, a 5-star general who once held the fate of the free world in his hands, couldn't handle the pressure. He slinked to the second hole. There you are, barely a dozen steps from the front porch of the Royal and Ancient Golf Club, the full weight of its 4-storied greyness upon you. 32 clubhouse windows face that tee, and you can feel eyes piercing you from every one of them, especially from the big room, where the blue blazered members sip their gin and tonics and peer imperiously through varifocals. You feel their eyes lasered into your temple. You feel the eyes of every golfer in your group, every golfer waiting to play, every lurking caddy, raking greenkeeper and passing motorist, every shopkeeper, dog walker, street cleaner, beachcomber, windsurfer, every gull and pigeon. Most of all, you feel the eyes of old Tom Morris, of Henry Cotton and Bobby Jones, of every great player, living or dead, who has ever walked these fabled links. And you don't want to disappoint." Which, of course, I did. My first round on the Old Course, at least my first as a resident, came 2 weeks after our arrival. To be honest, I made a decent pass at the ball, but to counter my fear of the worst of all results, I teed the ball so high that I hit it off not the face of the club, but the crown. The result was a shot that went almost straight up in the air, a trajectory of roughly 87 degrees vertical. And there was a headwind. I didn't know whether to run for cover or call for a fair catch. My tee shot returned to earth roughly 30 paces forward of the point from which it had been launched. I played my second shot as quickly as possible and reached the green in 3. Playing the Old Course at St Andrews is certainly not for the faint-hearted. And it reminds me that the power to play in life is not the power that we have. We have a greater power, the power of the Holy Spirit. As we read in 2 Corinthians 4, we have this treasure from God. We are like clay jars that hold the treasure. This shows that the power is from God, not from us. Like George Pepper playing on the Old Course, the first tee at St Andrews, we have troubles all around us, but we are not defeated. We do not know what to do, but we do not give up the hope of living. We may never play on the Old Course at St Andrews. We may never tee off from the first tee. But what this reminds us of is that whatever we do in life, whatever obstacles or challenges or humiliations we face, we have a greater power, the power of the Holy Spirit. We have this treasure from God. The great power is from God and not from us. We may have troubles all around us, but we are not defeated. We may not know what to do, but we do not give up hope. Is this a word for you today?